Hey everybody, Cal here. So I'm bringing you that second video, just like I said I would. Since today's ranked singles replays episode was so focused on Serperior, I figured that I would go ahead and do a Serperior video for my Meet My Pokemon. I haven't done this for a really long time. So for those of you, sorry, I got distracted by absolutely nothing. So for those of you who haven't seen one yet, Meet My Pokemon is basically where I... Oh, wait. Did I describe this last Meet My Pokemon? I believe I did. Well, whatever, I'm going to do it one more time. Meet My Pokemon is where I show you Pokemon that have earned MVP in one of my recent either live ranked battle videos or replay commentary videos. And I show you what I did to raise that Pokemon so that you can give it a try yourself. Sometimes I mention things I would do differently. And then in the comments, feel free to tell me things you would do differently, because that is always good to know. So this Serperior, I named him Esquire because, I mean, just look at him. He looks Esquire. He looks very, very prestigious. Very, very prestigious Pokemon. This is a very prestigious Pokemon, I should say. I mean, just look at it. Look at it. I feel like this is the kind of Pokemon that, like, Bill Gates would have. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so this is Serperior, as I've mentioned many times. Now, like I said, we're gonna start with the breeding, like we always do. So when I bred the Calm Nature, so that I could get that boost in, I believe it was my Special Defense. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. It's so I could get a Special Defense boost, because that is what this Pokemon is. It is a Special Defense tank. Pardon me, I get hiccups. Man, every time. Come on, hiccups, work with me. All right. I am running the Calm. Gets me that 10% boost on my Special Defense. And it gets rid of Attack, which is, I mean, whatever. I don't use it, as you can obviously tell. And then when I bred, as you can tell by the little symbols below there, next to the Pentagon, everything except for Attack, I bred for 31 IV. So HP, Defense, Special Attack, Special Defense, and Speed were all perfect. Attack, like I said, we don't need it. And then also, he benefits because if someone does want to try to foul play on him, since he is not a physical wall. His physical defense is naturally pretty decent, though, so I can't complain about that. As you guys might have saw in my most recent ranked singles replays, episode 3, I believe, the one that I just uploaded earlier today for me. He took a Pure Power Ice Punch from a Mega Metacham and lived. Barely, but lived. And I won't spoil how the rest of the fight went for you. But yeah, no, it's really, really good. His defense, and then his speed doesn't have any investment in it either. And it's fairly decent. I did switch him onto my team in favor of Goodra. It actually works out, because even though he still has the ice weakness, it's just such a good Pokemon. Such a good Pokemon on this team, in particular, I should say. I don't know if he would work out as a Special Defense tank in other teams, but for the team that I have and the type coverage I have, he's amazingly good. Then when I trained... Oh, no, there's one more. So then also, I bred the ability Overgrow. So that's the ability he normally gets. I actually liked it better than having Contrary. I mean, Contrary has crazy potential, definitely, but at the same time, Overgrow is really, really useful, because as you'll see in the future, and as you'll see if you watch Ranked Replays 3, Overgrow saves him multiple times, where he survives with less than 33% HP, and because of that, Giga Drain does a crazy amount of damage, and then turns things around, not necessarily to keep it alive, but usually that parting Giga Drain before it goes down, if it does go down after that, will do so much damage that sometimes he lives the next hit and then keeps going and just keeps tanking. And then also, on the other hand, sometimes it does enough damage that whoever comes in then gets the revenge kill a lot easier on whatever took him down. I do run Leftovers. I was thinking of Big Root for the Leech Seed Giga Drain health, but Leftovers just has worked out a lot better for me. As I said, I did mess around with this build on Showdown for a little bit, and Leftovers just worked out better in the long run than Big Root. I don't really know like the calcs or anything like that. I don't know why. Just Leftovers just was better. Leftovers, I think actually, I can actually explain. The reason why I think Leftovers is better on this Pokemon is because when I was up against an Amoonguss, or Venusaur, or Breloom, or any Pokemon that I couldn't actually throw Leech Seed on, having Leftovers at the end of every turn was extremely helpful, especially since some of those grass Pokemon have the hidden power Ice on them. Maybe Fire, but I can't tell. I know it's super effective, and Ice makes more sense. And yeah, so, I mean... it's good. Now, moving on to the moveset, Giga Drain, Leech Seed, Calm Mind, Safeguard. Now, Giga Drain is quintessential. You only get 10 shots with it, but it does so much damage, especially if you set up Calm Minds. And it's going to keep you alive. You're going to keep regenerating that HP. And if you can get a decent Giga Drain on something that's weak against grass, especially like a Marshtomp or a Quagsire, or what else is like 4 times weak? Anything that's 4 times weak, you get a Giga Drain off, you're gonna be healing. It's pretty much like you get to use a potion during battle. I mean, it's amazing, or a super, hyper potion, or whatever. And even against things that aren't 4 times weak. I mean, you do it on something that's 2 times weak, you're getting tons of HP back, especially with Calm Mind setup. I'm gonna skip Leech Seed for a second, and then because I just talked about Calm Mind. Calm Mind is extremely good because since his special defense is not as good as Gudra's, and he does rely on that Giga Drain to keep his health up. And then along the same lines, I don't want to run Assault Vest on him because he's a regenning wall, and Leftovers helps that. And then I wouldn't be able to use literally almost all my moves except for Giga Drain. It just works out really good having that Calm Mind to set up, because if you do predict your opponent to start off first turn Amoonguss is like the perfect... Breloom is a little hard because he's usually a physical hitter. But again, Esquire does take those hits pretty well. I mean, he took like I say, he took that Ice Punch and lived. So even then, I wouldn't be too worried about it. You just got to kind of play it by ear. Is that the saying? I don't know if that's a saying, but you just gotta go with it. Just feel it out. But like if you get lucky or not get lucky, if you do predict them to start off with something grass and you know that you can tank it, just start setting up Calm Minds. They're gonna have to switch out. They can't go versus you. I actually have a replay that I'll be commentating next time I do a replay commentary. That I won't spoil the outcome. I don't like to spoil outcomes, but Esquire does end up going face to face with the Mega Venusaur, and things aren't that bad. So that's why I run the Calm Mind on him. Leech Seed, of course, just get that extra regen over time. It doesn't work against grass Pokemon, sadly, but that's fine. He just starts setting up Calm Minds, and then there's nothing else I can do about it. And then Safeguard is actually really useful because since, as I said, he's usually an anti-lead against Amoonguss, Breloom, and stuff like that. If I'm trying to set up and I feel like they're going to be able to KO me, or if they switch in something to try to Toxic or Thunder Wave, since I'm fast enough, or if I predict the switch, I can use Safeguard, so that way they can't start to whittle me down with effects. And then also, if I'm using him as anti-Amoonguss, and I want to keep him on the field, alright, so like say Amoonguss is there, right? So Amoonguss is on the field, I start Esquire, I start doing Calm Minds. But they withdraw Amoonguss, and what they send in actually scares me out, and I'm like, you know what, I actually don't want to keep him in. Like maybe it's a Pokemon that I know I can tank, but I can't out-tank. So like it will beat me before I can kill it with Giga Drains. Is I can throw Leech Seed on it and Safeguard, and then I can switch out. So whatever I switch into, right, it'll be Leech Seeded, the enemy will already be Leech Seeded. And then even if he switches back into he has no reason to switch back into Amoonguss, because unless Amoonguss is going to come in and Giga Drain me or like HP Ice me, he can't switch into Amoonguss to do his Spore stuff or Breloom to do his Spore stuff, etc. If he switches into his Gastrodon, he's not going to be getting the burns, blah blah blah. It's really useful. If there's one thing that I would do different on this build, is maybe depending on the way your team's set up, you could change Safeguard for more coverage so that you have a move that super affects grass Pokemon. That would actually be extremely useful. And the one downside to Serperior is definitely his move pool, if you want to go special. He has a pretty decent physical attack pool, Especially in the TMs, he gets things like Dragon Tail and stuff like that. But when it comes to special attacking, he basically just has grass moves, and that's about it. So I guess the only useful move you could replace Safeguard with would be an HP Ice, so that you could hit the Dragon Pokemon / Flying Pokemon / Grass Pokemon. Flying Pokemon obviously will super affect you, but you're fast enough that, or you're not fast, you're bulky enough that there's a chance you could survive, unless it's like a Brave. Actually, no, that's not true. The most common flying Pokemon can probably actually one-shot you since you're not physically defensive, and they're almost always going to use Brave Bird. You probably will go down. I can't imagine a situation where you don't. So you might want to just switch out at that point in time. But if you predict it and you HP Ice when they switch in, like a Staraptor, then you're going to be doing super damage to it. And if it's a Talonflame, you're at least hitting it for neutral before you switch out. So that's a benefit. And what else was I going to say? Oh yeah, and then if they keep a Mungus in on you, you can just go for HP Ice right back on him. So that's the one thing I would change. And then actually, real quick, because I realize I haven't talked about it yet, my EV spread is actually extremely simple. Since his speed is already fast enough that for a wall I'm happy with where he's at, and his physical defense is high enough that he can take a physical hit if he has to. To use the Metacham example again, which I've already said it, I won't do the whole story. That I didn't want to invest anything in it. His special attack's decent. Maybe put a little bit more in there if you feel like it. But I just straight up wanted a wall. I figured Leech Seed's doing enough damage over time. I have Toxic, Thunderwave, and Will-O-Wisp on my party. So, the Thunderwave doesn't do damage. If I wanted to Will-O-Wisp or Toxic something and then stall it out with him, there's that benefit. So my spread is very simple. I literally just went full special defense, full HP, and then I think I put 1 in speed. Just to give me a little edge over something. Whenever I make a Pokemon, I have like 5 different windows open on my computer. I shouldn't say make. When I'm planning a Pokemon so that I can then breed it in the game, I have Cerebi.net open. I have a forum where some guy posted the speed tiers of all the like super common Pokemon and how fast they are, so that I can compare my speed with other things. I have Showdown open, both the team builder and the search bar, so that way if I say I'm looking at my team and I'm like, you know what, I really need Earthquake on my team, I can just type in Earthquake and bam, there's a list of Pokemon that know Earthquake. Or if I'm Well, I don't need to get into that right now. That's what this is about. Maybe I'll make a video on how I make Pokemon builds separately. But there we go. This is my Serperior Esquire. As I've shown you in the videos, there's proof right there this build does work. That's why I don't do build videos until after they get MVP, because I figure if I do a build video based purely on theory, and then someone, including me, goes out and breeds it and makes a Pokemon and then tries it and it's actually a horrible build, there's literally no point. I just wasted your time. So I prefer not to do these until after Pokemon earns it. And I feel like even though he's only been in 4 battles, he's been in 5. I think he's been in 5 battles total since I bred him, and 4 out of those 5 battles he did his job very, very well. So Gudra, I hope you're enjoying your vacation. Don't worry, Esquire is holding your place very well. And also you guys, thank you so much for watching this. I hope you might try this. I'm trying to branch out into less common Pokemon, and I will see you next time. Oh, this is the stop button over here. I clicked on the record button.